All right, hey everybody, welcome to Just the Grimoire, playing Grimoires every now and then podcast. I am Basement 45, the clan media manager. With me tonight, we have Bahamut Zero,
Hey, how you fellas doing?
and we got Kiazami,
What's going on, guys?
and we have our former Guardian Lord, OutOfTemp.
How's everybody doing?
Pretty good. All right, so kick things off. Why don't we do a little debrief on what we think of House of Wolves? So we want to go over the story, Prison of Elders, and for the one or two of us who have messed around some with the trials, we'll talk briefly about that. So, OutOfTemp, what is your impression of the story of the House of Wolves?
So far, I don't like it. There's almost there was some story elements to it, but then not really. Especially the Skolas. We just went right through it. We killed Skolas. Now he's imprisoned, and now we're fighting him. It was almost no storyline to it.
Yeah.
We went through it in one night within 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, so certainly length is a little short, no doubt. I do think they did a better job getting some of the characterization in there with like Varrics and stuff. Although there is kind of what you get at there a little bit with the disconnect for me is we kind of beat Skolas fairly simple, and then he gets into Prison Elders, and all of a sudden he's this badass motherfucker. I don't really know how that happens.
Well, you know, when you do hard time, you gotta step it up.
Right.
You know how it is when you get in jail, man. Dudes do nothing but lift because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, that could certainly be the case, I suppose. Yeah, so I did think with the story, the missions themselves, I kind of liked how they were constructed. I thought they are improving, I think, the story a little bit in terms of the gameplay and the storytelling. But, I don't know, do we think that they've kind of hit their limit on how they can tell the story in Destiny without hitting the cutscenes?
I think so.
No. Well, I believe they did because it set it up for there's really no main character and there's no story without a protagonist.
Right.
Or, you know, you're not following nobody else's story. Like, I don't know if anybody of you played Chrono Trigger or even games where really the focus was on the main character but people around you.
Right.
They don't even have that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's.
Like Link never says a word.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think there's a lot of potential because there's a lot of really interesting lore, and I think if they find a way to tell those stories of, you know, back when, you know, explore Tolan some or Kabar or Adayare or, you know, just all these characters around. There's a lot of interesting stuff they could do. So I'm interested to see if that's something that they're going to be able to work into the next expansion in September, or if it's going to be something that we have to wait out for Destiny 2, or if it's forever in Grimoire cards. So, anything else you guys like to talk about in the story?
No, I mean, I don't know that it's the kind of game that makes it. Like, I don't know how you take the structure of the game and put a story that anybody cares about on top of it. I mean, no matter what, if you're just the way it's structured, the way you have to play through missions and things like that, essentially. Well, I guess you don't have to really anymore, but except for bounties and things like that. Yeah. But nonetheless, I mean, it's just I don't know how you put a story on top of a game like this that, you know, can evolve in a meaningful way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or I don't know, not without committing the sort of manpower that it would take to do something like that, which I don't know how they would be profitable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It just I found the missions to be more engaging. Nonetheless, yeah. Like I'll say it was more engaging because I remember the characters' names, like Varrics and
right.
You know, Solus and stuff like that. So they did a better job. I'll give them that. Like there was characters whose names I remember. That's an accomplishment compared to where they were.
Right.
Nonetheless, I don't know, but I don't know how much it matters either because the reason you play that game and the mechanics for that game, like that, it's not the point. I mean, it's supposed to be there to give you an idea that there's something that you're doing, But I mean, the point is to get loot and to have a good time with your friends, right?
Right.
So,
That's
I mean, after the first time you play through the story missions and you're playing them with friends, do you ever listen to what they're saying again?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, so like, what could they do with a story at this point that anybody cared? Like, so maybe with Destiny 2, that's something they can think about, but I
Right.
think they would have to rebuild the thing from the ground up, the world from the ground up to get you engaged enough in the world to kind of like with Link or like the Legend of Zelda, the world brings you in so much that even though your character doesn't really speak or anything like that, through your actions through the world, there is a story that you feel being told about this character. And the way that Destiny is currently constructed, that's just not possible.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. Kiazami, kick us off on Prison of Elders. What are your initial thoughts? Is this something that's a good thing to bring into Destiny in terms of the arena? How is it compared to the raid and all that kind of stuff?
Well, I mean, it's no comparison to the raid. I feel the mechanics of the raid are a lot better because you have a 6-man team, you have to work together, you have objectives, like with Atheon, you had to go in there, like one person has the relic, he's the relic holder, everybody else is support, you've got 2 people that are going to shoot the oracles, and then the rest of them are going to keep the portals open. You have designated objectives to do, whereas in Prison of Elders, it's like you have your objectives that Skullus or Varix gives you, but one person can take out the objectives, and you're just basically, killing the ads. That's basically all it is.
Run to the left, kill everything.
Exactly.
Let the hunter do the objective.
Right. But the 28, I do find myself, there's the 4 levels, the 28, the 32, the 34, and then the 35. I find myself doing the 28 a lot more because it's matchmaking. You don't have to, try to get a group of guys together and go in there and do it. And I mean, it's just, it randomizes each time.
Right.
That's cool. If I want to just kill some time and I want to go kill some things instead of running around the moon or Venus or something, I'll go into the Prison of Elders and do that.
Yep.
The 34 and the 35, I think they need to revisit those. It's just...
What about them?
Well, I mean, for what you're getting, and, so the 34, you get a weapon core and an etheric light. The etheric light is awesome because you get to ascend your armor, but the weapon core, the weapons that Varix sells, you're better off doing drops. Yeah, exactly. Thumbs down. You're better off doing drops in Crucible, or farming some bounties so you can get an exotic or something.
Sorry, Kiazami. This one I'll bring back to Kiazami, and this is true why I also find this especially disappointing is they seem to focus more on PvP now.
Yeah.
In that aspect, like if you play PvP and that's your thing, this expansion is a godsend. Is better for that.
Mm-hmm.
People who like the raids or the storyline or going through the regular missions, this expansion was like more the same thing, only repackaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think PoE is a good game mode to have added on.
Right.
I think what it is though is it feels like another good option to have in the game, like that's well constructed in a good way. If it's a 28 to go below 30 minutes to get some motes and maybe a chance at an exotic. I mean, like whatever. It's a mechanic that's in there and gives you something to do, but it doesn't. Knowing what the raids feel like, it doesn't feel like in-game content, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It feels like another good mode. It just doesn't feel like in-game content. And if you've been doing at this point for the last, 8 months or so, is doing what felt like in-game content, I think that's why you're seeing a lot of people the first couple weeks like, oh yeah, let's get out there and do it. But there's not this need to like go and beat Skolas every single time until you have a freaking element of every single primary that you want. Like I don't see people getting the same sort of drive. If anything, people are like, okay, that was kind of cool for a couple weeks, but that doesn't really feel like in-game content. It's time to go look at Elder Scrolls Online or something else to get engrossed in until September. Because it just, in terms of just at least player versus enemy end-game content, it doesn't hit the right chords.
Right. Yeah.
It's certainly something that's fun to do, but it's not a raid for sure.
Right.
I actually find myself, I enjoy the 28s more than I like running the strikes for whatever reason.
Yeah, they replace strikes. I think Vernie said that a couple weeks back. They're like the new strike, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like them better than the strikes. I don't know if that's because I've been doing the strikes since September, and I can do them blindfolded now or whatnot.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, the one thing I do appreciate about the prison is that they've tried to put on some interesting twists on boss fights. At a minimum, they're to varying degrees of success. So I'm kind of hopeful that maybe we'll see some of that come forward in, more of the future story missions and the future strikes. Having some kind of mechanic on them, whatever it may be. It kind of feels like it's a testing ground for future raid mechanics almost.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're trying to figure out what kind of mechanics you could shoehorn into first-person shooters.
Right. Yeah, which is in itself an interesting problem because they're the first to do it.
Yeah.
I will say, I wish there were checkpoints in the Prison of Elders, and I think that's what's making everybody so pissed off about it, is because you grind for 3 hours, you're exhausted,
right?
Ready to just like put it down for a minute, but you can't.
Not just that, but there's some of that same Crota shit that you got to figure out like which version of the instance you're loaded into, and know how that particular instance is going to try to screw you over.
Yeah.
Even just as simple as knowing like where to stand. Like on that Skolas fight the other night, Kia Random and I, we kept running it from this same damn position over and over and over. Couldn't get it to work. We ran over to this other position, got it to work like the very first try. I'm like, oh, okay, so the trick must be that that's the position, whatever.
Yep.
This is after the first night that I did it with Braddock and Big Smee. It worked just fine in that first position. But, okay, so now maybe it's the other position is better. Maybe it was just dumb luck. Okay.
Right.
Then Kia and I go out there and we go to that other position and we try it and we try and it's not working. We go back to the original position. Oh, it works immediately the first try. It's just like stupid crap that doesn't even matter depending on what little tweak of the version or instance has been loaded. That just doesn't even matter. I don't know, stuff like that even just kind of drives me crazy a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, I'm just going to hit the chat real quick. T-Code is out there saying he's probably done and won't be spending any more time with Destiny at this point with that kind of stuff. So we're going to have to make sure we find a way to keep him around because he's a good dude. The other thing that's kind of disappointing is I really like the armor sets, or at least for the Warlock, that's all I care about.
Right.
But the weapons without any elemental burn is really surprising. It doesn't feel like endgame rewards on the weapons. Or at least the ones they've had for sale so far have been kind of lackluster.
You can get an elemental burn, but it has to be awarded for killing Skolas.
Yeah, I didn't get one of those last night.
No, I mean, how crazy is it that the exotic ciphers spawn all the time, but the guns don't? Like elemental legendaries. Right.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. Anything else we want to hit there on Prison Elders?
Destiny needs checkpoints, please. Bungie, if you're listening, checkpoints.
Well, whatever at this point. Like, good effort, nice new addition. You guys better absolutely kill it in September. It better be a whole lot more like Vault of Glass and a whole lot less like Crota. It better feel grandiose. It better feel kind of magical, just like when you go into Vault of Glass the first time. The openness, the mysterious. Like, man, y'all better knock it out of the park with the mechanics or everything, or else you're gonna like lose a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, magical is a good word to describe that first time through the vault. That was something else.
It really better like grab your attention, because like I'll still go do the vault pretty much any time because it's still just an awesome fun thing to do. So, man, you better get that kind of recipe right again, because if we didn't get a raid on this last time and it didn't give your hardcore base players really the fix they were looking for, and then you bring a subpar product next time, or at least one that feels like it wasn't worth the wait, or what was worth $40 and the wait and the continued buying into a game that like a lot of the gaming public kind of left behind, like you cannot screw up in September. Not if you want to keep this whole kind of thing going.
I really think that they do need to bring it, and I think part of it is that they're listening a lot to the community, but not listening properly. Like they're trying to tweak things here and there that only make more problems later on, because people, some people might like it this way, other people like it this way, and it's just like too many hands stirring the pot.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Yeah, for sure.
Knowledge is that, but like the first two things feel like QA testing. It's like one of the best additions to this was like the economy. Like the economy actually kind of turned into something that made everything usable, which is great, right? What sucks is that it wasn't like that in September. It sucks that you have to wait that long when the whole idea was it to be kind of MMO lightish in some respects, right? I think we've all kind of forgotten in some respects that that's kind of what the idea was at first. That's what people talked a lot. They said, oh, it's going to be kind of like an MMO. Like that was the word or acronym that you used or heard the most.
Right.
And so you launched one of those and you didn't even have a fucking economy for 9 months. Like you know what I mean? Like that's like one of the touting things I think about this expansion that's so great is like, oh, the economy's not better. It's like, well, that should have been there day one. Like not just that, where some of the things happen. And if you remember, like, so you know how on the story missions you go to that area in Venus behind those two freaking Minotaurs? And if you remember, back in the day, you used to be able to jump up there and get there and see that stuff before the game ever launched. You know what I mean?
Right.
It seems like you finally got the product that was intended to be delivered last September.
Mm-hmm.
So, because a lot of that, all of that stuff was already in there. There was no new environments. There was no, you know what I mean? There was no new anything, really.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, man, September better be awesome.
That too right there was a big gripe too. Also before like the new like Mercury. They could have had level in Mercury, a level or two, just a small area. But again, the only way to reach that was you had to be good at PvP. I suck at it. I am terrible at it.
Yeah.
Who's been to Mercury so far?
I have.
Anybody else?
Random. Yeah, Kia and Random have. I think maybe Deja. I think Deja might have went.
Yeah, Deja got to go.
Yeah.
Everybody's been there but me.
No.
No, just the three of us, I think.
I think I have a total of 4 trials wins out of like 30 matches.
Yeah. Trials is a beast, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not a hardcore PvP player and you want to do trials, you can't.
There we go right there. So Mercury to me is inaccessible. I can't get to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think it's good, though, that they have a means for the PvP community to have their version of a raid. I think that is good and smart and needed. And I'm happy to see that they've started putting elimination as a permanent feature set now for PvP, so people can train or do whatever in there, or just kind of screw around that with more regular level people or match made to their skill abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But what would be interesting to see is if they were to ever take the trials and kind of match make it for that first ticket, so everybody kind of has an opportunity to participate, because right now you're probably going to see the same groups of people running over and over, and a lot of people in our clan, or like myself included, probably won't run it very often because it is such, I'm never going to get there, or I maybe on a good week I'll get that armor piece, but that's about it. So what I think I'd like to see is have match make that first card, so that's up to your own skill level. And then once you go to Mercury, Mercury becomes a launching point to get a private invite only into that week's, really hardcore best of the best.
Right.
Something like that. Maybe you hide the chest, that's in the Lighthouse on Mercury for the people who win that level for the best of the best, but make the other rewards attainable for everybody else.
Right. Well, I will tell you, from going to the Lighthouse, it does have a social space type of feel to it, so
Right.
it almost feels like another outpost or another tower.
Right.
So they can definitely, I think they, maybe later on they'll address that, because
Right.
there are different areas that you can go into, and
Yep. Exactly.
architectures and stuff that are pre-existing that should turn into something later.
Right. Yeah. Well, and there's no way they spent all that time and money to craft that without the thought that more than just this small, 0.5% of the player base is ever going to be there.
Right.
That's too much money to have spent on that to not have it play a bigger role down the road. So
Right.
maybe that would be the September social space. Who knows?
Yeah,
Never know. I mean, speaking of September, should we start talking about the King?
Let's wait and see what they have to say, and
Okay.
maybe that'll play a little bit into our next segment, potentially. So, before we move on, anyone else have anything they want to add to the House of Wolves? All right. Move on from there. Everybody bow down to Temp. He is king. All right, so tomorrow, sort of, even though its official start date is Tuesday, tomorrow is the start of E3. It's like second Christmas for me every year anyways. I always take off at least 2 to 3 days, if not the whole week of work, just to sit down and watch all the press conferences and all that kind of stuff. And
Right.
there was
Yeah,
like
work,
there
right?
was a ridiculous number of press conferences this year, which is going to be a lot of fun. So what I thought we'd do is we'd go through each of the press conferences, and we each throw out 2 predictions for each conference on what we think might happen, or might be revealed, or what might not be revealed. And I'm going to keep track of those, and then we'll
2 for
reconvene,
each one. Oh my goodness.
yeah. So we'll reconvene, or I'll just put up a video with kind of the results, and we'll see what happens with that. So tomorrow night is Bethesda. They've dropped, the big reveal trailer for Fallout 4,
Mhm.
which, I think was the worst kept secret in gaming potentially. So I'm just going to start working on the left, and we're going to work right, and then we'll just rotate around each conference. So, Temp, why don't you give us your first Bethesda prediction?
I'm the worst person. I never liked the Fallout series. Let me tell you the story. I think I never told you guys. Fallout 3. I got it as somebody let me hold it. It was in the present. I actually stopped. I didn't make it out of the bunker. I was still a child walking around and talking. It just pissed me off. I wanted to go outside and do stuff. I was like, I just say, you know what? Fuck this game. And never played it. Never played it. So, on to the next person.
They do other stuff other than Fallout.
Yeah, like Skyrim and Elder Scrolls Online and all that.
Nope. Never played those.
Total punt.
Wait. I thought. Are we talking about a certain conference? Or are we talking about just Fallout 3? I mean Fallout 4.
No, I've just Bethesda's press conference. So I was just saying that they revealed Fallout 4. So it's a whole, publisher.
Yeah, I skipped it. I don't play any other games. Fallout 3, I don't. The Elder Scrolls, I didn't play it. Just because people tell me it's gonna be 120, 140 hours, I'm like, nope. It can stay right there.
Like it's not Japanese, I'm not playing it.
Just the Japanese.
Because I know plenty of games you don't play that are that long.
That is not true. I played Knights of the Republic.
Yeah.
That was in Japanese, and I loved it. Played part 1 and 2.
Right. Okay. All right. So top 0 points.
0 points. Yes.
Kiazami.
Got it.
the thought on Bethesda. Maybe we'll just end up doing one prediction apiece for this.
I'm thinking Bethesda. They're gonna do a big push on Fallout 4. I feel, and they're just gonna try to hype it as big as they can. I mean, when was the last Fallout?
Oh, 8 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
2007, maybe 2000. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
So, I think they're going to do a big push on Fallout or.
Oh, well, there was New Vegas. There was New Vegas. What was that? 09, maybe.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah, and then
Well,
Skyrim came out after that, and that's been like 3 years.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think a lot of the mechanics are what they're going to try to push. New environments, new storyline. I'm pretty sure they're going to say. I'm thinking they're going to say at least 5 times new environments and new storylines. At least 5 times.
All right. All right. So Kiazami, 5 times. New environments, stories, and we'll be pretty liberal with that one. Let's see where they go with that.
Right.
All right. So Baja.
So they're going to talk about Fallout 4. They're going to talk about Elder Scrolls Online.
Give me something
I don't think they're the kind of company that's going to say anything. I mean, I don't know if you want to call it a prediction, but I don't think we're going to hear anything about the next Elder Scrolls proper. I think they're just going to stick to what people know is coming. I don't think they're going to rock the boat with anything big like a new, single-player Elder Scrolls or anything like that.
I think that's a safe prediction. I think you'll get your point.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's Bethesda. I don't think they're going to come out with any. If we hadn't heard about Fallout 4, I think everybody would be saying, oh, we're going to hear about that. But that's kind of out of the bag. I think that's what they're going to talk about. They're going to talk about. I'm sure they're going to lead in with Elder Scrolls Online. Then they're going to talk about that, and maybe we'll hear about some sort of expansion coming from Elder Scrolls Online. Maybe that'll happen.
Maybe. All right. So my prediction: Dishonored 2 is revealed, but not dated.
Oh, Dishonored! They make Dishonored. I would love to hear about a new Dishonored.
Yep. Yeah.
I would love to hear about that.
I
think AC really liked it. I remember 3 of 4 really liked Dishonored. I remember we had to talk about that one day. I had to break out my trophy for Clean Hands. That was a great trophy to get, by the way.
Yeah, I think all we'll see with that is like a CG trailer, maybe. Not much out of that.
Exactly.
I think they're going to pump Fallout really hard. They're going to pump ESO pretty hard. I think they're going to open the show up with the public Doom reveal, since that is known to be in the works and has been shown off behind closed doors. I think they're going to push that one out. If I had to guess, I'm going to throw out a March next year release date for Doom. But
really?
Yeah, they've been working that. It's been working that one for a while.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just want to hear their E3 2016 press conference. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
So that's when we'll hear about the next real one in the series.
Yeah. So here's a question: do we think Fallout's coming out this fall?
No. It's like.
I would say Christmas time.
If they had it ready for November like they did Skyrim, I think they learned their lesson from Skyrim. I don't know that they would want to launch it as big of a buggy mess as it was last time.
Yeah.
And if we're just hearing about it, I have a hard time seeing them having it ready.
Yeah, that's why I said I agree with Bahamut, because we just now learned about it. You heard the first trailer and the first gameplay, if that was gameplay, not CG or technical demo. Nothing about it, Maybe E3, I highly doubt it's coming this winter, and this is the first time we're hearing about it. They want to hype it up. They want to get the pre-orders in. They want, all the IGN, all the game magazines to go in there, play it, and spread the word around. It'll be kind of dumb just to say, hey, it's coming out. It's like 4 months later, here it is. They want to advertise this game for a long time.
So, Kiazami, what's your vote?
I say December, like a Christmas time frame.
December? Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of close to me. I'm thinking I'm actually gonna put a date out there, November 17th.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like early March, late February.
All right. All right. So that'll count as prediction 2 for Bethesda. How's that?
Yep, I'm about
March 16th. Okay. All right. So next press conference that hits is one that may or may not hit home to all of us, since we're Sony players for the most part. Microsoft's press conference.
Yay, Microsoft.
My guess is we're gonna hear crap about that Tomb Raider game from them.
Oh man.
They spent money trying. Because if you ever notice those E3 press conferences, it's all about, look at us fanboys, look how we just talk shit about the other guys. You know what I mean? And so my guess is that we're going to hear a bunch of shit about the new Tomb Raider from Microsoft. That's my personal guess on.
Anything in particular about
Probably
it?
trying to get their jabs.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, so they talk Tomb Raider with jabs.
That's my.
Well,
That's all I'm guessing. They're going to try to throw little barbs. They're going to throw some shade there.
Okay.
No,
All right.
I don't think that'll be the only place, but that'll be one of the places they try to throw shade.
Yeah. All right.
like to me, Tomb Raider was done in the PlayStation era. You know, Tomb Raider 1, Tomb Raider 2, and 3, doing swan dives off the cliff. So I'm not gonna talk too much about Tomb Raider. Didn't care about it. I ain't play even the new one that came out like 2 or 3 years ago. But like from Microsoft is, of course, is Halo 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I play all the consoles. I don't have the Xbox One because there's no games out there that really interest me that I wanted to buy for it. So Halo 5, they're gonna push that. That's gonna be coming out this year. I'm pretty sure it is. Don't quote me on that. They're gonna push Halo 5. They're gonna show more gameplay footage. You know, they're already showing all this all the pictures of all the other Guardians or whatnot, whatever.
Right.
Another game that maybe you guys played, I don't know if you guys had an Xbox before, is the Gears of War. The last Gears of War game was horrible.
Yeah.
It
They
was
were all horrible.
no.
Part Gears of War 3. 3 was...
3, the ending disappointed me. I hated the ending so much. That was stupid. But part 1 and part 2 and 3, until the ending, they were great. The last one with the prequel, whatever, horrible. I didn't even look at that game. They're gonna push that. You know, like Sony has been big in doing lots of remakes. A remake of Final Fantasy X, 10-2, sold like crazy. A remake of this HD. You know, it's selling. Even Nintendo made a Wind Waker remake and it's sold. So they're gonna push that. They're gonna remake Gears of War 1 and Gears of War 2.
You're calling Gears of War trilogy.
And the third and final game I think they were showing there was I forgot what the hell it was. I think that's all. That's all. Just Halo and the Gears of War remake.
Okay.
That's Tomb Raider.
Alrighty. So, Kiazami, anything you want to chip in or you want me to go?
For Microsoft,
Yeah.
I think they're going to probably talk a little bit about Microsoft 10, just trying to throw that in there, even though it's not the right place for it.
You really
But,
think they will?
Say what?
You really think they'll talk about that there?
I think they'll throw it in there. Just to,
Kiazami.
It's like, have you ever noticed, like, after these press conferences, all the fanboys are like, they gotta talk about the games, and if they don't talk about nothing but games,
He's talking about a really good point.
if you bring up one function that doesn't involve games, like it's a revolt by the fanboys.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're gonna want to do that. They've done that in the past.
Well,
and it
but the
doesn't
thing
work.
is, with Windows 10, they've been pushing that as a big gaming platform and improvement on the Windows platform with potential integration into Xbox. So I think Kiazami's got a really ballsy prediction there. I like it.
Oh, I gotcha. That makes some sense, I suppose.
And, well, to add a Kiazami, because he brought up Windows 10, is just recently Microsoft made a deal with Oculus Rift. As you know, Sony has the Sony Morpheus, whatever that has been called. So that could be a surprise right there, where they will show Windows 10, actually show an Oculus Rift game with a Microsoft. So that could be one of their showstoppers. This is Kiazami's comment.
You want to put that down as a...
As a prediction? You know what? Yeah, they're going to show off an Oculus Rift game at the conference for Microsoft.
Okay.
They have a big deal with them. They're gonna probably show a tech demo of somebody running across a bridge. I saw that there. Grabbing onto the ledge and you're playing with the Oculus Rift.
Okay.
I think they also showed the control for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys know the Steam system or the Steam whatever it's called,
yep.
You notice the controller has like little touchy feels around the edges where it's more like a mouse. Yeah, well, the Oculus Rift, they leaked some videos out, videos and images, and the controller holds like a Wii remote in one hand.
Right.
It has a little thumb pad where you control the movement with the little thumb pad thing, like a mouse.
Yeah.
So that could be a really big announcement from Microsoft in the vein of Sony Move.
Yeah.
Okay. So my prediction, they're going to announce a Rock Band partnership. It's coming back.
Yeah.
Microsoft needs to hit sales. Rock Band's the kind of game that's going to potentially move again. It's been away for a while.
Right.
It's going to be something attractive to the casual market, which is, wherever they can find it, I think they're going to go for it. And so I think you're going to see Rock Band shown off on stage. I think that's what we're going to see.
And Kinect integration, don't forget that.
I actually don't think you'll hear Kinect once in the entire conference.
Yeah.
Really?
You know what?
All the money is sunk into Kinect, and you think it's just dead? DOA? Wow.
Yeah, I think it's going to be basically just like the PlayStation camera for Twitch streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all it's going to be used for.
Hey, Bassman, what you think that Microsoft will make a deal with Guitar Hero Live instead of Rock Band? Because Guitar Hero Live mostly looks like the augmented reality glasses where they show an actual crowd in the screen, compared to Rock Band, which, from what I've seen, is more back in the past, generic 3D graphics, the crowd and everything.
But here's why they're going to go with Rock Band. They're going to go with Rock Band because all the old stuff still works. So they're going to try to get people who have the 360 or whatever and, make that plunge over because they already have all that plastic crap sitting around. And it's not quite as intimidating looking because it's something that everybody already knows where they've really changed the formula on Guitar Hero.
No. The new game for Rock Band uses a new guitar.
Yeah, but the old ones are still supported.
The old ones are still supported for the new game? Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's where my money is, Rock Band. I also think that we might see a new Battletoads.
From Microsoft?
Yeah, well, they own Rare Studios. Rare is the studio that did Battletoads back in the day. And they've been doing nothing but Kinect Sports for years.
Yeah. Well, that'd be that'd be awesome. I wouldn't mind playing a new Battletoads.
Conker's Bad Fur Day. Who played Conker's Bad Fur Day for the 64? Anybody besides me?
I played some Conkers.
Wasn't that awesome?
It was fun. But I wound up spending my time playing that horrible trot game, or what was the name of that one, where you were like that prehistoric warrior?
Oh yeah, the multiplayer where you had to catch the eggs from the velociraptors. You had to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That game was fun.
Yeah. All right. So, anyone else have anything to throw out there for Microsoft that you think you're going to see?
Forza. Isn't Forza 6 supposed to be?
I don't think it's officially been announced, but I think it's one of those assumptions. But
yeah, I think they'll probably touch on that because Forza has always been like Xbox driven. Like this is our driving game, so they have to get that sports game in there for the sports lore.
Right. Yeah. So I've got 2 predictions for everybody except you, Baha. What do you think is going to happen to Microsoft? Go silly if you want.
No. So it's not really silly, but it kind of, it has more to do with Sega, which I think will be a Sony thing. So, the only other thing I had thought of was kind of what Temp mentioned, that I think we'll probably see a Gears of War remake, kind of like same thing you hear about Sony doing the Uncharted remake, the Nathan edition. I bet you we're going to see, and maybe not even just Gears of War, but I bet you any of their like Fable or whatever. There's going to be any number of studios that I think are going to want to cash in on the remake.
Yes. So we'll just say numerous remasters.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. That's Microsoft. Getting a little bit more interesting to us, anyway. After Microsoft is EA.
Ooh. So I know what we better hear about.
I'm going to lead off EA.
Oh, EA, we better hear about Mass Effect 4. Or the continuation of the Mass Effect universe. God knows, I better hear about that.
That gets on to my first prediction. Mass Effect Trilogy Remastered this fall. For PS4 and Xbox One.
Awesome.
Agreed.
Spend way too much time playing that.
You think we'll have the online modes, like the Horde modes kind of things? From like Mass Effect 3 and stuff?
Yep. I think that'll be fully up.
Very cool.
Yep. Alright, so there's mine. Who else has got something?
EA, I'll go next. EA made Mirror's Edge. Originally that was on the I played it was on the Xbox. Also came out for the PS3. They're really gonna push that because the first person running around the game is called Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Yeah,
Videos on it. That's looking good. They're gonna show that also. Star Wars coming out this year. Battlefront. I played Battlefront for the older consoles. I didn't get too deep into it. It was more of like a party game. We come more way, everybody jump in, we start killing each other off, and then after a while we get bored and move on. So somebody may want that. And again, does EA they're doing Star Wars: The Old Republic? Another game for them?
Yeah. That's still running on PC. Yeah.
That's still running on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe something new about that expansions. But that's about it. So I'm looking forward to the Mirror's Edge Catalyst, an announcement for Star Wars, and maybe there'll actually some real. So far, they used the PS4 as their main console show of the graphics for the Battlefront. So far what we've seen, they say it's in-game footage, and to me it looks incredible. And to me, it looks like a tech demo. They say it's in-game footage. Maybe we'll actually see some actual playable demos, playable battles. See how that works out. Maybe more modes will be announced.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet since that comes out this fall. So, all right. Kiazami, what do you got for me?
I'm going to have to second with Temp. I mean, Star Wars is huge. I mean, it's coming out this December. Christmas, right?
Yeah.
It's right around when the movie comes out.
Yeah.
November 7th. It might actually be that November 17th date.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so with the movie coming out, that's going to bring a lot of people back into Star Wars. Everybody's excited about the movie coming out. So I think there's going to be a really big push for the Star Wars franchise, seeing that, they have so much money invested in it. Another big ticket item is the Madden series that is, year by year going. I think they're gonna be talking a lot about Madden because a lot of people play that, your tournament style. You play that at home. You play it for the Super Bowl. So I think they're gonna. Those are my two big predictions: are Star Wars and Madden.
All right. So Baja, give me something.
Yeah,
Mass Effect 4 from you.
That's what we better hear and we better see is the new Mass Effect, the continuation of that universe.
Yeah.
Some guys, whether it be prequel or far into the future, Commander Shepard, whatever, there better be the continuation of that universe and what that's going to entail and all that. I hope there's a lot of time dedicated to that.
Yeah, when Mass Effect 4 is announced, I think I will just cry in happiness.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to go scan some distant fucking planet on the edge of the universe.
The Mako.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. So I'm going to throw another one out there for EA. Going off the Battlefront thing, I think we're going to see Battlefront Alpha PS4 exclusive next week.
Next week?
Good.
Just like Destiny Alpha was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, that'd be awesome.
So...
It will be.
I
That's
know
my
we're
second.
gonna have a lot of people playing that though. Come this fall, if there's any number of people said that that's a day one purchase for them.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
So Baja, anything else? Give me a second one for EA.
Oh God, I don't know. They're not the unexpected kind of company, right? You're just gonna hear about their major franchises, right? And
Well, that in itself's a good prediction. Nothing.
you know what I mean? Like that's my prediction is nothing that you wouldn't have guessed. Is like there won't be a new IP that they've sunk a lot of money and creative talent into. That will not exist.
All right, no new IP. We'll put it down there.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so while Kiazami is absent, we will move on to some extent. And we'll just loop back to him when we get there. Next press conference is Ubisoft.
Back. Sorry.
No, just in time. We're going to start Ubisoft there. So, Kiazami, you haven't started us off on anything yet, so give us your Ubisoft prediction.
I'm not really big on Ubisoft. I'm trying to think of some of the games that they might have. Pass.
I'll take Ubisoft second. First off, they pissed me off about 2 years ago with Rayman Legends. They were supposed to release it for the Wii U, and they never did. They delayed it 6 months just so they could release it for everybody else.
Yeah, the Wii U exclusive that never came to Wii U.
If you're listening, you go to hell. But a game that I believe that they'll probably announce at E3 as a prediction will be Beyond Good and Evil 2. They announced it maybe a year or two ago, and they've been very quiet about it. Nobody knows if it's been canceled or not. But that comes up, that'll be a big surprise, and that will be great. Because the first game was awesome. Zelda, puzzle mix, it was refreshing.
Yeah, it was a really good game. I never played on the original consoles, but I played the remastered versions that they released on PS3 and Xbox 360. That was solid.
Those were the ones to play.
Yeah, that was a really good game.
I played it.
Right,
I believe it was a game.
Yep. So I've got a semi-silly prediction for Ubisoft that I'll throw out there. I think we'll see Dance Central demoed on stage by no less than 15 people.
15?
Yep, I think we'll see a massive dance party on the stage.
With which console?
Just Ubisoft's conference.
Oh, okay.
Just Dance whatever, 16.
Yeah.
15 people dancing.
Okay.
It seems like silly stupidness.
Another surprise from Ubisoft will be Assassin's Creed. They're gonna have a Assassin's Creed demo there, or something in the veins.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a surprise.
Yeah, like that's what I was gonna say. Like, of course, you're gonna hear about a new Assassin's Creed, and probably a new portable Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? Like,
you think we're going to see a portable Assassin's Creed?
That's my guess. Is that they'll take it onto one of the portable systems because I think there's enough of a market now that you can get people to buy into games like that, and I think that the systems could render it enough to make it doable.
Yeah, I did play the one for Vita when that came out. It was okay, nothing amazing, but good to play on an airplane when I was traveling back and forth to Europe.
There you go. Isn't that what those things are always about? Is whether or not it works on an airplane?
Yep. All right, so Kiazami, come to you.
Yeah, I mean, Assassin's Creed definitely. Watch Dogs. I mean, I think there's something there. You know, I think they might be able to pull that back into the limelight. You know.
Okay, so Watch Dogs 2 announcement. Yeah. So who here played Watch Dogs?
I played it.
What'd you think?
What'd you say?
What'd you think of it?
So like it was a cool mechanic that they used far too little for it to matter after a few hours, right? Like it was it's a cool idea. Like you can interact with the world to make it, bend to your whims and stuff like that. But there was only so many things, you could do it on the street to make things raise or lights. I mean, there was only so many things you could do it on. And after a while, it just became something you pressed a button to get the cops to fall off of you after a while. Like, it's a cool mechanic, but they needed to integrate it in a way that made it feel more organic and made it feel like there was a lot of variety that you could really accomplish with it and things like that. So, cool idea. The execution has to be a hell of a lot better for it to even get up to, like, the level that, like, Grand Theft Auto or Witcher or something like that's at, with a big world and a lot of stuff to do on it.
Yeah, I played it as well. I actually really had a good time with it. It wasn't groundbreaking, but you could see the seeds for groundbreaking kind of showing there.
There's something there.
Right. I think there was something, probably the fact they had to get it to run on 360 and PS3 probably really hampered everything.
Yeah, agree.
But, yeah, I would definitely get behind a Watch Dogs 2, I think. See how that goes.
I would give it a shot if it looked good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's probably a safe bet we'll all see The Division on Ubisoft stage. Do we think they start throwing out a release window or a date?
I think we're going to hear something about what they're going to have launching in the fall season.
Yeah.
They're going to have to talk about. They're going to have to drum up something about what they're selling for the Christmas season.
Yeah.
For the holiday season.
Yeah, because right now the only big game I think they have announced for the fall is Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, they're going to have to. They're going to be selling more than that.
Right. Which it's going to be interesting to see because I think they said a Division is going to be a 2016 game, but I don't know what else they would have, ready to go that would be sales for them in the fall. So, be interesting to see what they come up with for that. They are a company though that I do think we'll see a couple really neat indie games using the UbiArt engine come out.
Mm-hmm.
Things like Child of Light and the World War I game, whatever it was called. I can't remember.
Valiant Hearts.
Yeah, which is
I'd love to see some more little things about their partnership with small indie companies. That'd be cool.
Well, those are actually not. Those are done by the same studio that did like Far Cry.
Yeah.
Which was great that they give them that.
It'd be awesome if you heard about them having other studios using their engine though and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, do we think we see anything about Far Cry 5? Do we think they start annualizing that potentially?
I don't know if it's I feel it's a little bit too early to talk about Far Cry. But you never know. I mean, realistically, you never know. They could be in the works with Far Cry 5 already, even though 4 just came out.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that it's something that they've gotten to the point where they can annualize it yet. I don't know that it has that market yet.
Yeah, I think they're going to be pushing towards it. Maybe not this year, but starting next year potentially.
Yeah.
All right. So now we'll move on to the conference that probably we all care about.
Mm-hmm.
Sony. This is the big daddy. So Kiazami, since you haven't gotten to start one, I'm sure you can come up with something for Sony.
Street Fighter 5 exclusive. Right now, at least, it's supposed to be exclusive for the PlayStation, which is going to be phenomenal because playing Street Fighter on an Xbox controller is just like stupid.
Yeah.
Why you wouldn't buy an arcade controller though?
Yeah. I mean, if you have the game controller, it is a game changer. But you go over to a friend's house, you grab the controller. The PlayStation controller just feels so much better.
Yep.
So I know for a fact they should be pushing that one big, because that's Capcom, Sony matchup.
Yep. All right. So big push on Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
So more than just a couple-minute thing, more of like a 6-7 minute demo.
Yeah, I think there's to be a full demo.
So
great. Your tournament controller. Make love to it. Make love to it. Caress it. Yes.
Oh.
All right, so while Baja's indisposed with his controller, Temp, you want to throw out a prediction?
Oh, I will. I'm gonna go against Kiazami. I don't agree with you. Sony so far, even though they sold the most consoles, they don't have their one IP that says, "Damn, you must get a PS4." They haven't had one yet. They got great third parties. You know, Witcher 3, but so is everybody else. Destiny, everybody else has it. The Call of Duties, everybody has it. The Grand Theft Auto 5, everybody has it.
Yep.
I think they're gonna push is Uncharted. They're gonna show that off. They're gonna play it, and even though they said it's not coming out this year, they're gonna show a demo off. And well, from what I've seen so far, it looks very good. Like this is what next gen is.
Right.
They're gonna show everybody. This is why you buy a PS4. This is Uncharted. Another game that is looking good, and you probably guys, I may have mentioned it before or you heard about it, will be No Man's Land. Has anybody know what I'm talking about?
I've heard the name.
Okay, well, for Kiazami, know about it. Basically, is you're in a ship and you explore an endless galaxy, and you get to name the planet, the animals, whatever you want.
Sky? Is it called No Man's Land or No Man's Sky?
Sky.
Ah, No Man's Sky. Look at that.
Yeah.
Tell you about a stupid ass Destiny gun.
No Land Beyond. Yeah, that's
It's all mashing together.
Go back together. Go crazy. Yes, there we go.
Weapon to carry No Man's Sky.
Well, yeah, that one looks promising for what I've seen, and I thought that everybody starts out from what I've seen a little bit of the game. What I thought wasn't going to work out is everybody's goal is to get to the middle of the galaxy, and you start around the guys doing places. But from what I've seen, you're able to warp to different parts of a galaxy, and it'll be Uncharted. And the way the developer said is, even if everybody here played this game for the next 100 years, you still won't reach anything.
Right.
It'll take billions of hours to reach all the planet. That's if you spend like 5 seconds on each planet.
Right. Yeah, I saw that quote too.
This is huge.
Yeah.
And what else for Sony?
Well,
I think that's it.
I'll say we'll move on to myself and Baja still have a thing to throw out there, and Kiazami still has a second.
Oh, before we go, they're pushing the 3D glasses, the Morpheus, whatever they're called.
Morpheus.
Yes, they're gonna push that because it mentioned that our controller's blue little light that blinds us at night is hooked up to the 3D.
Yep. So I'm actually gonna take that for my prediction. I think they're gonna show off Project Morpheus on stage, but it won't be a big demo because how do you demo VR on stage really? They're gonna talk about it a lot. But what I think they're going to do is they're going to date it for public release for second quarter next year. And it's going to have a $250 price point.
Woo!
Huh, 250.
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
For early adopters.
Right.
Then that's got the room for it to drop.
I'm gonna go for $199.
I can see the 250 just because of like the way that Apple and stuff. Essentially it is a television.
Right.
So I think they can justify it in that aspect, but it is going to be a punch in the gut.
Well, I think they'll put it at that price point, that it's on the little bit higher side, only because it's not something they're going to expect to sell millions of.
Right.
So you need to not take a big loss on it. So the way you do that is you don't take a loss on the hardware itself. And I'm going to guess that the hardware itself is probably going to cost about $150 to manufacture. So by the time you throw in software development and advertising, all that kind of stuff, I think it's going to push it to $250.
So $250, they're going to break even with advertisement and all that.
It'll probably give them just enough profit that it won't hurt the company. That's my guess.
Okay.
So second quarter, $250. It's just my guess. But if I had to take one, I'll take the $250 price tag. All right. So Baja, your turn.
Okay, so yeah, of course, everything I think they're going to talk about is Project Morpheus, right? I think that's going to be their big showstopper and everything. I think they're going to come out guns blazing with that. So this is probably not going to happen, but I just want to throw it out into the world to try to make it happen. So you know how it looks they're going to try to tie in the move sticks and things like that with Project Morpheus?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember a game from Sega? I'm thinking because Sony's a Japanese company, maybe they'll somehow work with Sega on this. Do y'all remember a game back in the day called Virtual On?
The fighting game?
Kind of, yeah.
No, the mech game.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, I love that game.
There's going to be a Virtual On in Project Morpheus where you feel like you're in that fucking mech. And instead of having the 2 control bars, you're going to have 2 move sticks to control the movement and the buttons on it to control the weapon systems and everything.
I like it.
That's a prediction.
That's a baller prediction. I like that.
Man, let it happen because I fucking imported back in the day the pedals and the fucking things for the joysticks to play Virtual On the right way.
Yeah.
It's like some of the best gaming there is. So that neck and like flying around and everything.
Right, yeah.
You could do that in Project Morpheus and feel like you're in that fucking mech flying around like that. It would sell. It would be awesome.
Yeah, I think if they show off a virtual mech game for Morpheus, you get 2 points for that one.
Thank you.
That was just so out of left field.
Yeah.
Hey, right? That's the one I came with.
Alrighty.
I'm putting it out there. Hopefully they see this and realize that.
Yeah. You got a second one for Sony, Kiazami?
I think they're gonna speak on a lot of the remasters that they're doing, bringing back some of the older games to the new system. I really feel like they're trying to push that nostalgia to bring people to boost more sales. People are like, oh, I can play all these games on my PS4 instead of having to dust off the PlayStation
or you want your kids to play those games you played back on your PlayStation.
Right.
Yeah.
So nostalgia.
Yeah,
that's what PlayStation can do.
Yep.
Speaking of Uncharted, they can have an Uncharted 3-pack, the collector's edition. Uncharted 1, 2, 3, HD remastered. Boom.
Yeah.
Already been announced. October.
Sure we'll get that.
Yeah, I think you can actually buy that on the dashboard today.
Awesome.
Yep. All right, I'll throw out another one of mine. I've got several to look at, but the one I'm going to put my money on is Call of Duty becomes a PlayStation partnership, switching roles with Microsoft. So all DLC will be day one, or PlayStation first before Xbox, and it will be shown off on stage.
Oh.
That's ballsy.
Yeah.
It's a big money maker for Activision.
Right. Go where the console sales are.
Yeah.
And they probably have a good relationship from Destiny. So
yeah, that's true.
So that's my big second one.
Well, does Call of Duty sell that well outside of the U.S.?
I don't know, but I think the U.S. still accounts for like half or more of the global software sales.
I'm just saying I don't know how well it sells outside the U.S. And for whatever reason, I thought Microsoft was holding their own in the U.S. on console sales, but I could be wrong.
In terms of that, PlayStation's selling them everywhere worldwide.
Yeah.
Worldwide. I thought Microsoft was being competitive in the U.S., but I could be wrong.
It's closer than in Europe or in Asia, but it's still a far way back, from what I understand.
Yep.
But all right, so second prediction from you, Baha.
Oh, more than just a freaking virtual reality, virtual on? Jesus, that's not enough.
Or are you just going to make that a double prediction?
Yeah, so I'm doubling down on that one, so if I hit it huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Temp took all the other ones. You're definitely going to see Uncharted 4, I think, is what they're going to push. I think, you know what? I bet you we finally see a playable version of the game that's been being made forever now. That you start.
Last Guardian.
The Last Guardian. Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, but we'll see a playable something with that.
That is true. The Last Guardian. I don't know. It's been so long that I just stopped caring about it.
Yeah.
I like
Now-
what I saw. It reminded me of Ico. It's
Now that you
like,
quit caring about it, you'll finally see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it'll have so much hype, it'll never live up to it.
Yeah.
But, all right, so we got those predictions in. I'm just going to throw another couple out there that I had kind of written down of things I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see the new IP that Guerrilla has been working on, the Killzone people. I think we're going to see their new IP.
You, right?
Yep, I think we're going to see that revealed.
Yeah.
I think we're going to hear potentially that the PS Plus edition of Drive Club launches next week. There's been a lot of info out that they've been finalizing servers for the PS Plus edition. The main servers for the paid version of the game have been very stable for a long time, and it's a really, really solid game. So I think got all those kinks worked out. And the last little bit is I think we're going to see a release date given for Persona 5, probably December this year, and that will be awesome.
Temp, that sounds like something you would get. Temp, do you play Persona?
No.
Oh, I'm surprised.
I'm the kind of person who likes to play all the games in the series. So I go back to the first one and I look at it and see if I would like the game, see gameplay videos of it. If I don't feel anything like that's too much time, I would just not play it. I would just ignore it. I look at it and say it looks nice, but I won't play it in your games.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm in the middle of Kingdom Hearts 1.5.
Yeah.
I want to play new Kingdom Hearts, but I want to know the whole storyline.
Yeah.
I don't want to read about it and then jump into the third one and be like, what the hell was all this?
Yeah.
Although, quite frankly, with Kingdom Hearts, even if you have played through it, you're still going to be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. So the neat thing about Persona games is they're not connected really in any way, shape, or form, so you can just jump right in. But Persona 4, you should really take a look at. Awesome, awesome game.
So are the Persona games like 1, 2, and 3? Are they all connected to the 4? Where something's gonna miss? Or they're all completely different, like Final Fantasy?
It's like Final Fantasy in that respect. They're all similar in structure, but the stories are not at all intertwined. There might be a couple little allusions to the prior games, like you would see in a Final Fantasy.
Yes, true.
But no, I mean it's a game that's probably right up your alley. So those are my predictions for Sony, and now we'll move on to where Temp will kill us all. Nintendo predictions.
So who wants to go first? Anybody?
I'm going to go first, and we're going to leave Temp for last because you might be the only one that has any knowledge of anything when it comes to them.
All right.
So my prediction: new Punch-Out.
Okay. Look at Bosley scratching his head like, who is Nintendo?
No, that's not true.
Yeah, so Baja, what do you think we'll see out of Nintendo?
They're going to talk all about their move to mobile gaming, is my guess.
Okay.
I know their investors are all about them taking their IPs and making a profit because they have some stuff that can be turned into mobile games. I mean, they're so dominant in the mobile market as it is with the 3DS and things like that, or have been in the past with the history of the Game Boy and stuff like that. So I think we'll hear a lot about what they're going to do mobile going forward, and I think that'll be the big thing for them.
Good stuff. Kiazami, hit us with something.
I've heard talks of Star Fox. So that'd be kind of cool. I think they're gonna push those little NFC figurines, try to boost the sales, try to hype it more, so that people are like, okay, let me buy these little $30 figurines that hold data. So that's my two predictions: is Star Fox for the Wii U and the NFCs.
Yeah. All right. So Template is busy doing something here. I have a feeling we're going to see a kill of them.
Well, Kiazami was saying called them NFC figurines, and no, Kiazami, they're called amiibos. You see,
Oh, sorry.
they're called
Amiibos.
amiibos. Now, he's right, and I hate Nintendo because this figurine, this one in my hand, is supposed to cost $13, but because of scalpers and they're not making enough, this figurine in my hand, this one costs $50. You can sell it. Yeah, you can sell it for. You can triple or quadruple your profit by selling this for $50. This one costs $70.
Ness.
Yeah, and I bought them for $13 at the store.
Yeah.
Nintendo hit the gold mine with the figurines, with amiibos, and like you said, Kiazami, yeah, they are gonna push that. They're gonna go into more different kinds, like more like the plush figurines, not necessarily plastic, and also because of such a high demand for the figurines, maybe the NFC cards. They're gonna come out with this game called Animal Crossing House something. I don't like Animal Crossing, but basically is you decorate your house.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing, and they're gonna integrate the cards with NFC where you could get new items or whatever they're gonna do with it. And they expand to the figurines because it's so hard to find, and I'm not spending $50 on something I'm missing. Again with the Star Fox, yep. They announced on the Twitter feed, maybe it was about 2 weeks to a month ago, that Zelda's not being shown up. They need more time to work on Zelda, so they're not going to show it in their E3 conference, which is like what's left. So they're going to go back to the older IPs that are less known. Star Fox, the last one was back in, good lord, like 2008, 2007, and does not include the 3DS remake of Star Fox 64. So they're going to go with Star Fox. They got Retro Studios. Anybody here play Metroid Prime, Metroid games?
Yeah.
Awesome. Here we go.
Everybody, Baha's confused.
Yeah, those are awesome. The Metroid Prime games were awesome.
Yes. So maybe they're gonna come out with Metroid Prime. Maybe surprise us with another Mario game, Mario Galaxy. You know, so
is that really a surprise? Is that really a surprise to them?
What, the Mario Galaxy?
A new Mario game?
Yes and no, because what they've been doing lately, they've been doing a lot of mashups with their games, like Shin Tenzimi and Fire Emblem. I pronounced that wrong. They may announce that it's a mashup between two different games. Capcom and somebody else, they're doing their thing, and of course they have to show something for their the new 3DS console, so the one with the extra little thumbstick. Yeah. See, I got this for a present. I wasn't gonna buy it because the only game that this console was made for to play was Xenoblade.
Yeah.
It's only for the new 3DS. They're gonna say, hey, why the hell did I buy this for? They're gonna show more games made only to play on this 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
And that's mostly it. If I go deeper into it, you guys will be lost. Like, what the hell is
Yeah, Temp, our resident Nintendo expert.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. I got the Google over there.
Yep. Yeah, I tell you, if they drop that, show a massive price cut on that to like $150, I'd probably pick one up just to screw around with the kids on. But I'm not. They haven't spoken to me in a long time, and it'd be nice if there was a reason for them or for me to pay attention to them, but there just hasn't been for whatever reason. But just me.
For my family, we still play with the just the Wii, the regular Wii. We play the golf game. Spend hours playing that.
I think they're gonna take over like Android and iOS and shit like that with the next 5 years, though.
Yeah.
They said no to that. They said they're not going to the Android or nothing. If you want to talk about rumors for the new next console, they announced that. I doubt they're gonna say anything about it in this conference about the new console because the Wii U is just 3 years old. Mm-hmm. Maybe in next E3 they'll show the NX. Predictions on that will be the simple question. Nintendo has always dominated with their handhelds. Everybody buys their handhelds, and like Baha said, trying to get to the mobile market, everything. I believe the next console will be a hybrid between a 3DS and a Wii U where you'll take a low resolution game with you around with like the Vita does. You
Yep.
play the game, you're on the bus, everything. You go back home, you stick in a little cradle or hook it up to the new console, and voila, you got a full HD game, and you left off right where you get off.
Yeah.
And that will be their answering code. People will buy their home console or just buy the one whole console for a price.
Hey, I just checked. Yeah, Nintendo announced back in May that they're going to start doing things for phones and tablets. So that's coming.
Oh no, yeah, that's coming. What I meant about Node to the Android was there was a rumor that their next console, the NX, was going to be based off Android.
Oh, off Android. Yeah, no, I don't see that.
That's what I meant.
They're going to have their own operating system if they're going to make a console.
Right. Yeah. Yep, that's the Nintendo way.
I got you.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Anything else we want to throw out there about E3? Real quick.
No, I mean, I'm sure Square's. I'm looking forward to Square Enix because I want to hear about Just Cause 3. I hope there's enough people in the clan that are into that game and there's some sort of way to do the boards and maps together. That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
I played the first one.
Yeah, and I'm on the record.
Just Cause has a lot of good mechanics. Like, it has a good feel to it as you play it.
Yep. I'm on the record for not being a big Just Cause 2 fan, but we've already discussed that here.
Yeah.
I think that was night 1.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. We're just to go through the list of what's going to happen over the next couple of days with E3. We're going to be hosting each of the press conference streams on our channel, so people in the clan can get together and chat amongst each other, similar to what we did with the Bungie streams with the House of Wolves reveal, so we can actually talk real time to each other and not have to go through the band app or the mess of everything else that's on Twitch or whatever. So schedule's posted up in the main band chat for that, so take a look. So given that, I think we're going to just go ahead and leave it there.
Yeah.
So,
Good talk.
Yep, good job, guys. All right, so everybody, thanks for tuning in. We're Clan Grimoire, and we'll catch you next time.